Welcome gamers, Hazzador here, and today I'm going to review No Man's Sky. Unfortunately, this game has turned out exactly like I expected it to. It just has not lived up to the hype whatsoever, and this game is in my opinion not worth £50 whatsoever. First I'm going to tell you what I didn't like about the game, and then I'm going to go through the good points and the good things that No Man's Sky does. One of the main attractions to this game was the 18 quintillion planets that you could explore, but all these planets are just so boring. There's just nothing to do on them. I know planets in real life are like this, they're just massive piles of rock with hundreds and hundreds of miles of just absolutely nothing, but on this game they're like that too. And on a video game you don't want to explore a planet where there's almost nothing there. It's all procedurally generated and it is all really generic. They look different visually, but the things you do on these planets are exactly the same. Come here and save a waypoint, go over there and mine some materials, go over there and see some animals, go and see some plants, go and explore this, and all this exploration just seems very pointless. Why are you exploring this? There's no story in the game, not much lore, there's no backstory to what you're actually supposed to do in this game. The only point is to reach the center of the universe, and without a story, or without any real NPCs in the game, it's just very boring in my opinion. As for the NPCs, there are a few, but very few of them, and there's not much interaction at all. You feel very lonely in this game. And I know that's what the developers are trying to do, make you feel that this universe is absolutely massive and you're this tiny little person in it, but that's not really a good thing in my opinion. The few aliens that you can speak to, you can't really understand because they speak a different language to you. Yes, you can learn this language by finding different scripts and new words across the massive universe, and that's one of the things that I actually like doing about this game. Learning new languages was definitely a good point about this game. I really did enjoy doing that, and I've learned about 100 words from each species I've found so far, and I still can't figure out what these guys are exactly saying. There's no sort of proper interaction between you and these NPCs, there's no lovers, there's no enemies, there's no allies, there's just nothing. And as for the multiplayer, there basically is none. Some people are even saying that the developers have lied about there being a multiplayer aspect to this game, because no one has even met each other yet. You are supposed to be able to find random players across this universe, but the chances of doing that are like 1%, they're so low that it's probably never going to happen. And as I said in my should you buy video, I think No Man's Sky multiplayer could have been absolutely amazing. Go out and explore the universe with a few friends, that would have made the game much better. And as for the gameplay, it's not really anything special at all. It's slow, it's boring, it's very simple, and it's just not good at all in my opinion. On ground you can sort of mine materials and stuff, and if you do this too much, or kill a lot of wildlife, sentinels will come after you and you have to shoot them. That is all you do. There's only one button you press, there's not sort of any dodging or any massive sort of upgrade you can do to your weapon. You can add specific technologies on them, but they're not really anything massively groundbreaking or makes them feel that different at all. It's very boring, and as for the air combat, I find that kind of poor as well. If you're thinking that this is going to be something like Star Wars or Battlefield jet fights, it's nothing like that at all. A lot of the time, you find yourself in 3-on-1 or 4-on-1 confrontations where you don't have much of a chance unless you have a very good upgraded ship. And I just found the air battles very boring, and after doing 2 or 3, I got very bored and didn't really want to do it anymore. The main objective to this game is to get more units and to build new stuff, and with these materials you build new stuff, and it's just this grindy game where you have to find new materials on each planet, and all these planets, as I've said, they look visually different, but it is the same thing on each planet. As for the wildlife, it's very generic. There are like loads of different variations, but they all are sort of the same thing. They do look different, but they're kind of following the same model, if you understand what I'm saying. No Man's Sky is procedurally generated, and I think that has kind of hindered this game quite a lot. In my personal opinion, I would have preferred there to be 95% less planets, but for the developers to really work on each planet, because there's a severe lack of detail in these planets. There's not massive cities, there are not factions, there are not massive monsters hiding underground or something like that. There are not different biomes in each planet, they all seem to be the same thing. For example, snowy, sunny, acidy, toxic rain, very hot. There are all these different biomes, but there are not different ones on each planet. And the planets are so boring. I've said this loads already. You're kind of getting bored of me saying it's boring probably, but as you'll see in the gameplay, it is just very boring. They're very generic and there's not much to do on these planets at all. The exploration and the needs to explore, I just don't have a need to explore these planets. I've visited about 100 and it really does seem like I'm saying, wait, haven't I visited this planet before? This is the same thing, isn't it? So if you couldn't tell, the amount of planets in the game is not very good. I think the fact that there are 18 quintillion planets in this game has kind of worked against the game itself. And as for mining, that is really boring. It's like a much worse version of Minecraft. You just get your beam, hold down R2 on a controller and just break rocks. Really repetitive activities, very grindy as I've said, and the word to describe No Man's Sky perfectly in my opinion is boring. That might just be my personal opinion and I've got too much expectations for the game, but No Man's Sky is definitely boring. I can't really see myself doing a second playthrough for this game, but I'm just so disappointed in general. I thought this game was going to be something big, but getting closer and closer to release, I did kind of feel that this game was going to fall flat on its face, as I said in my previous No Man's Sky video. Now despite me being very critical about the game so far, I think that does deserve that criticism, but it's not a complete disaster of a game. There are some good things about it, and the main thing that is about it that, well, it is at least creditable, is that it is the biggest game ever made, well, ever. Think of the biggest game you've ever played in an open world setting, well multiply that by a few million. That is No Man's Sky, but just because it is a massive size, it doesn't mean it is interesting. I think Hello Games have concentrated on quantity other than quality, which is never good in any sort of aspect in life. Also, as you can see, the graphics are really good. This game is absolutely beautiful. I can't really fault the graphics, but the graphics are only a minor part in all games in my opinion. Graphics are sort of things that make you feel, oh wow, that looks beautiful, but if the gameplay is boring, the planets are boring, there's not much NPCs, it just feels very repetitive and grindy. Basically what No Man's Sky exactly is, the graphics aren't enough to hold this game up. Another thing I liked about this game was the crafting system and the vast technologies that you can install into your weapons, aircrafts and other sort of things you have on you. The crafting system is quite in depth in my opinion. There are a lot of things you can buy, there are a lot of things you can upgrade, there are a lot of different substances you can trade, and also on trading. I think the trading is done very well. The trading in this game is one of the things that actually holds it up. All the different merchants in the world, the galactic space station sort of trade market where you can compare prices from different merchants, buy some materials off people, sell some materials, buy people's ships off them and trade different things like this. I think the trading system is done very well, and that's one of the things that keeps this game even a little bit interesting in my opinion. And one of the things I mentioned much before in the video was learning new languages, and that is in my opinion one of the best, if not the best thing to do in this game. Learning different languages and actually being able to communicate with these NPCs is something that I really enjoy doing. There are many different factions in the game. I've only discovered 4 or 3 I think it is, but I still do have a long way to go. And the final thing I really liked about this game was the music and the soundtrack. As I've said, going out and exploring these planets is kind of boring, but the music in the background and the soundtrack that always plays when you jump into your ship or get off it to explore a new planet, it really does entice you to go out there and explore. It gives you that really big rush of adrenaline that, wow, I'm gonna find something amazing here. But once you get to these planets, you realise that is an absolute boring place to be, and you want to get in your ship and fly away from it as fast as possible. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the music is very impressive. Overall, No Man's Sky has been a massive disappointment to me, and I'm sure to millions of you other people out there. I'm sure, however, that there are also many people who actually do enjoy the game, and the game is not really bad, it's just about average. Not great, not really bad, it's just bang in the middle. I'd give this game a 6 out of 10. Not lived up to expectations, but if the expectations were not so high, I imagine people would be saying this game is very good. For a specific audience or a specific niche, I'm sure many people are going to spend hundreds of hours playing No Man's Sky. But for me, and many other people out there, it is just not for them. And I think the developers have kind of hyped it up a little bit too much. But anyway guys, thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe for more.